Hello, everybody. So I am Andrea Hill, if you're not familiar with me, your conscious dating mentor and love coach. And I come to you live every Monday night on my business page, Andrea Hill Date by Design, to talk to you about matters of the heart, to provide intel for you to have a more rewarding and enjoyable romantic life and dating experience. And tonight is a vulnerable share. I'm talking about the mess of stuff. The things that many of us avoid because we just aren't comfortable with the discomfort of dealing with the things from our past that have hurt us, to be honest. It can be from like our childhood all the way through, God knows, school was hell for me, and definitely romantic experiences. And it's these things that, unfortunately, more often than not, negatively influence us in our now and how we make our choices in matters of the heart. And it's hiding from this messy crap, if you will, that is still innately a part of us that actually keeps us cut off from the thing that we want so desperately, which is to be connected to not only with love for ourselves, which is first and foremost the most important, and really what allows us to connect more deeply with a partner and enabling us to have a really loving, meaningful relationship. And I today had my own sort of coming to terms or invitation or deeper step into my own messiness. There were many epiphanies that things that even with all the work that I do and the things that I teach, and of course this is why I teach them, is that stuff that I wasn't even aware of that I was avoiding. That this semblance of trying to look like we have all our shit together, especially when we're dating, when we don't. And it's in looking lovingly at the messiness of it all that allows us to actually move through it and get to the other side to start fulfilling what we really desire. But if we're trying to crawl over the wall, meanwhile not even looking at it and thinking we're going to find success, it's going to be a messy and repetitive ride. So what I really learned through my own experience today is that instead of avoiding it, what would actually inviting it into my experience, creating out sacred, precious time to actually hang out with those unresolved feelings, the feelings of hurt or pain or sadness, and see really what's there and what I can do personally to support myself. Now, if you've got a lot of stuff going on, I really encourage you to find a loving mentor or coach or counselor or therapist that can help you navigate your way through this in a really supportive manner. And heavens knows there's lots of people out there, including myself and my community of amazing women and men that provide services that do this. But it's even in the everyday that if we sit with the feelings and kind of ride the discomfort and hold space for ourselves for the feelings to show up, there's so many gifts in them. And unfortunately, we're raised to avoid this stuff and kind of shove it down and ignore it and avoid it in its entirety and hope that everything's going to be okay on the other side. And Pollyanning our way through life just doesn't work, because what life will do is provide experiences and people to invite us to deal with the stuff that we're hiding from. I know even with an example of grief, I did my best to hide from it, and boy did it come and find me. So I rather create an environment and a supportive space to actually feel these things, face them head on in a loving way so that I can either choose to get the support that I need, but even supporting myself in the process so that I can move through the feelings with more grace and be aware of the gifts that reside within them. So Jill's weighing in here, and my girlfriend Jill does beautiful work in this environment and is powerful in holding space for people to feel all the feelings. Those feelings tell us so much. Do they ever? Hey, Carol, thanks for watching. Paula Annieing our way through life just doesn't work. Truth. No, it doesn't. And it gets exhausting. It gets really exhausting. And to be honest, going through my own feelings this morning on a call with my mentors, I'm a wee bit tired, but boy, is it worth it, because I feel like I've expanded, like I've learned so much, and I have more insight into me and how I can love and support myself in my own relationship with myself, and for sure in romantic relationships with others in the future moving forward. And this is ongoing work, kids. This does not stop. We're here to learn and grow, and romantic relationships in particular provide ample opportunity for us to learn about ourselves and about other people too, and to do that in a really loving way. But the invitation that I'm sharing with you tonight is to not avoid the feelings, no matter how messy they might feel. I shared earlier today that actually, if I can step back and really appreciate my feelings and the discomfort and even the resistance that comes up, like, hide, no, don't want to do this, and still hold space, that I don't back down, that I know that I'm going to stand up for myself and stand in the truth of what's rising, it allows me to move through it, to get through to the other side, to not have to hang on to the heavy burden of pain or old stories or hurt. It's a step towards freedom and release. And every time that you can do this, you're able to navigate it with more grace, and to better be able to support yourself and not let fear take you out at the knees, that instead that it can be almost inspiration to move through it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts surrounding this. Have you been avoiding hurt and pain, and how is that showing up in your life? Can you see the value in actually doing the work, standing in the discomfort, and seeing what comes up? Just even little baby steps to start. And if it feels like fear's too much in order to take me up on this invitation, then reach out to me or someone else that maybe has been inspiring you, that you think can support you in this process. This is the work. I talk about dating and relationships, and a lot of the time we can sort of be flippant about those things, but it's this deep heart work that actually allows us to connect more deeply to others. It is the key to your romantic castle, in your romantic life, but also most importantly with you. It always begins with you. It always begins within. So Jill says, so what happened that inspired the live? Well, I had a mentoring call this morning, or I had a call this morning with my mentors, and my stuff came up like right away. It was as soon as the call started, the emotion rose. I was able to get connected to what was actually happening in my body. I know Sandy has hopped on. Hi, Sandy. And she works directly with your nervous system and body and how your body can speak to you. So even me doing work with Sandy Dow has made me more aware of how to listen to how my body speaks to me. The body never lies. And to be able to hold this space powerfully for myself with the support of my mentors, and able to work through what was rising. And it not just being about the emotion and being uncomfortable, but going on the inquiry as to what the emotion was trying to tell me. What was there to look at and to care for and nurture so that I could actually move through it and begin taking the steps to do that in my everyday too. So the advice that I received today was actually to listen to music and watch films, which I love, or do anything else that actually allows me to tap more deeply into and invite that feeling. Yeah, I'm inviting that feeling that most of us avoid into my experience so that I can almost build a relationship with it and discover more about what it wants to and needs to share with me and enable me to be able to move through it. So I hope that's coming through clearly. And that it's of service to you. That's why I come on live on Monday nights. It's a little bit more of a deep discussion, but a really worthy one, because this is where it all begins. And it's actually what we avoid that can be the greatest gift to us if we stand and face it and invite it as opposed to avoid it. So I'd love for you to continue the conversation in the comments below. I will be here again live next Monday night, having another conversation, or perhaps even a more deep one based around what I'm talking about tonight. I'm going to leave that up to you. And if you're more of the shy and silent type, don't hesitate in reaching out to me through private message as well. I'm here for you. As I say, I've got your romantic back, and I'm happy to support you in whatever it is that you're needing in your romantic and dating life. That's why I'm here. So until next time, sending you big, big love.